So yesterday we saw how Bhismadev departed and Yudhisthira Maharaj performed the final rites for Bhismadev. So, so that was in continuation with the many questions asked by sages of Minisharan in the chapter number 4. There, there are few sets of questions, history behind the advent of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then inspiration, what was the inspiration for Vyasadeva to compile Srimad Bhagavatam? That was the second set of questions. Third set of questions were regarding Sukdev Goswami. And fourth set of questions were regarding Parikshit Maharaj. So how did it happen that King Parikshit made this great sage, making it possible for this great transcendental essence of Vedas to be sung to him? Another question was in relation to Parikshit Maharaj, that he was accustomed to stay at the door of householder only long enough for the cows to be milked, and he did this just to sanctify the resident. Then he said that Maharaj Parikshit is first class devotee of the Lord and that his birth and activities are all wonderful. Please tell about us. He was a great emperor and possessed all opulence of the acquired kingdom. He was so exalted that he was increasing the prestige of Pandu dynasty. Why did he give up everything? Sit down on the bank of Ganges and fast until death. He said, he was such a great emperor that all his enemies would come and bow down at his feet and surrender all their wealth for their own benefit. He was full of youth and strength. He possessed kingly opulence that were difficult to give up. Why did he want to give up everything, including his life? Those who devote to the cause of personality of God live only for the welfare, development, and happiness of others. They do not live for any selfish interest. So even though the emperor was free from all attachment to worldly possession, how could he give up his mortal body, which was the shelter for others? These are the sets of questions in relation to Parikshit Maharaj. And of course, to answer these questions, Sukdev Goswami has started with narrating the story that how at the end of battle of Mahabharata, Duryodhana was completely crushed. And, Ashwathama killed innocent children of Pandavas when they were sleeping. So then, Nasattama was punished. When Nasattama was punished, then his jewel was taken away. And then finally he released the Brahmastra to kill the last descendant of Pandavas. That was Parikshit Maharaj, who was in the womb of Uttara. He has released the Brahmastra. Lord Krishna has protected Maharaj Parikshit. When in Kunti, and of course, Lord Krishna, then that happened when Lord Krishna was about to depart from Hastinapur to Dwarka after enthroning the Yudhisthira Maharaj as the king. So when he was about to depart, he was about to climb on the chariot. This incident happened that Brahmastra was released to kill the final descendant of Pandavas, and Lord Krishna saved him. And who was he? Parikshit Maharaj. After seeing this thing, Queen Kunti offered a wonderful prayers to Lord Krishna. And when the prayer was finished, Maharaj Yudhisthira was so much aggrieved. So on the request of Yudhisthira Maharaj, Lord Krishna decided to stay for more days in the Hastinapur. And so Yudhisthira Maharaj was so much aggrieved because of the massacre happened to enthrone him as a king. So then he went to the battlefield where war was taken place. There he saw the Bhismadev was lying there on the on the verge of death on the arrow bed. Then yes, so you know that all Yudhisthira Maharaj with all his brother and Lord Krishna approached to Bhismadev. And during that time, so many other sages came, demigods also was seeing this thing from heaven. So at that time, Yudhisthira Maharaj was so much aggrieved that he was not even pacified by the words of Krishna and Vyasadeva. And that the reason was why? because Lord Krishna wanted give this opportunity to Bhismadev to glorify Bhismadev. Yeah, and he wanted to set the example that how the devotees of the Lord are in clear about consciousness of him. Then Bhismadev Pitamaha pacified Yudhisthira Maharaj, giving the, considering that this is the will of the Lord, no one can understand. So then Yudhisthira Maharaj was pacified. Then Bhismadev stopped talking. So at that time, he said that now I just want to focus on the Lord Krishna. So at that time, Yudhisthira Maharaj is asking some questions in relation to many dharmas. So Bhismadev answered all those questions. And after that, Bhismadev says, now let my mind focus completely on Lord Krishna. So, and Bhismadev is glorifying various activities of Lord Krishna, specifically his Partha Sarthi root, which he saw when he was in the battle. Arjuna was not so fortunate, but Bhishma Pitama was fortunate because he could see the Partha Sarthi form of Lord Krishna. Okay, then Bhishma Pitama departed, and finally, Yudhisthira Maharaj was grief-stricken because of losing the Bhishma Pitama, was not only the great well-wisher of him, but he was great devotee. Okay. And that was the thing. Then Yudhisthira Maharaj performed final rites, and that's how then he start ruling the Hastinapur. So still how the birth of Parikshit Maharaj was taken place, not yet answered. So just to answer that, in between dusri story aa chuki hai. Okay, that's okay. So these are the different stories that prayers of King Kunti, then Krishna Pitama depart. Now Krishna is departing. That is the chapter. Okay, so all those things are narrated in the answer of the questions in relation to birth and activities of Parikshit Maharaj. So today we are going to discuss about departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. Okay. So this is yes. So Sonaku Vacha, then Hatva Swarikta Sprutha Atata Hino Yudhisthira Dharma Bhuta Varishta Sahanuje Prati Avrutta Bhojanaha Tatham Pravruta Kimakara Tataha. Sonak Muni is asking. So of course, that main questions are there in relation to Parikshit Maharaj, but in between there are many questions are coming. Sonak Muni is asking that, after killing his enemy. So sometimes what happened? All of you ask question, and someone is answering, and when the answers are going on, answers are not completed, but in between some story come to answer those questions, the previous question, you ask another question. That's happened. So that is what is happening right now. When Krishna, Sud Goswami is narrating, but in between some story come. So in relation to that, Sonak Rishi is asking the question. Hope this is clear. So what question Sonak Muni is asking? That after killing his enemies who desire to usurp his rightful inheritance, how did the greatest of all religious men, Maharaj Yudhishthira, assisted by his brothers, rule his subjects? Surely he could not freely enjoy his kingdom with unrestricted consciousness. This is the question. So basically, Maharaj Yudhishthira was greatest of all men of religion, and thus he was not at all inclined to fight with his cousin for the sake of enjoying the kingdom. So he didn't wanted to fight just to enjoy. He fought for the right cause because the kingdom of Hastinapur was his rightful inheritance. His cousin wanted to usurp it for himself. And he fought under the guidance of Lord Krishna. Okay. Because so much massacre happened, he could not enjoy the result of his victory. Because his cousins were killed in the fight. So, when Arjuna said on the beginning of Mahabharat, battle of Mahabharat, so when Lord Arjuna requested Lord Krishna to take his chariot between the two armies, so after seeing the armies, he saw whom he is going to fight. One side, Matula, Bhatula, Putran, Potram, Sakim, Stata, he is going to fight against his own relative only. So then Arjuna started giving so many arguments why we should, why this battle should not happen. First argument was that okay, they may be ignorant, they may be greedy, but we should be compassionate on them. Being compassionate, we are knowledgeable. Why should we fight with them? So we should be compassionate. That was the first argument Arjuna gave to Krishna that I don't want to fight because of. We should be compassionate. Second reason he gave that if I feel them, then I'll incur simple reaction. Third reason he gave that if I kill them, then I want to win the kingdom for the people, but they themselves will not there. Then whom will I show? How will I enjoy this kingdom? That was the third reason. Fourth reason he gave that family tradition will be destroyed. And because of all four things, he said, now I'm indecisive. These are the 5 reasons Arjuna gave to Krishna for not fighting. So of course, Pandavas didn't wanted to fight. Because Lord Krishna told that fight was happened under the guidance of Lord Krishna. So one of the reasons Arjuna gave was that how will he enjoy the kingdom without his relative? So that's why, of course, Yudhisthira Maharaj could not enjoy the result of his victory because his cousins were all killed in the fight. He therefore ruled over the kingdom as a matter of duty, assisted by his younger brother. The inquiry was important for Sonak Rishi, who wanted to know about the behavior of Maharaj Yudhishthir when he was at ease to enjoy the kingdom. So of course, this is very important question. No, कभी-कभी लोग क्या है? No, we have recently faced one issue in the temple. There was one person who shows that he is very innocent, but inside he was not innocent. There are many people, they show they are innocent, but inside they are not innocent. कभी रोते हैं तो आंसू पे भरोसा करता है. When they करता है, I don't feel bad because we don't know उनके आंसू के सही है गलत है. Okay ना? This thing happened. So Sonak Rishi wanted to, by asking this question, he wanted to set an example for people in general that, yeah, Yudhishthira Maharaj was not, no, अरे आज सबके सामने सब मर गए तो दिखाया कि अरे वो दुखी है और कल राज्य का भोग कर रहे हैं. No. That's why this question is very, very important. Then Sukha Goswami is answering. Hope this is clear to you then why this question was asked. And he says, Sutta Uvacha Vasampuro Varsada Avagni Nihitam Sanroharitva Bhavano Hariti Nivesaitva Nijarajyam Isvaro Yudhishtiram Pitamana Babu. Sukha Goswami said, Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the maintainer of the world, become pleased after re-establishing Maharaj Yudhishthir in his kingdom and after restoring the Kuru dynasty, which had been exhausted by the bamboo fire of God. This is very, very important, right? Lord Krishna was pleased after re-establishing Yudhishthir Maharaj in his own kingdom and after restoring the Kuru dynasty, which had been exhausted by the bamboo fire of anger. Bamboo fire means, bamboo is a good example here. So in the forest, when 2 branches of the tree rub each other, so then forest fire will arise. Sansara dava, nalalida loka. How the forest fire arises, right? So in the Kuru dynasty also, the 2 persons were have a friction, and that's why fire had appeared. Okay. That's what Prabhupada, right? The world is compared to forest fire. So that's why when we sing that morning arti, so first panja is Sansara Dava Nalalida Loka. Sansara is like Davanal, forest fire. Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatma. But the spiritual master takes the role of cloud which pours the rain on the fire and that extinguishes the fire. संसार दावा नलिंगा लोक प्राणाय करणे घना घनम प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणाणा वाश्य वंदे गुरुश्री चरणारविंद. So he becomes so compassionate, like ocean. He's ocean of compassion. I offer my respectful obeisance to such a spiritual master. Vande Guru Sri Charanaramita. So here the example is nicely given that this world is compared to forest fire caused by the cohesion of the bamboo bushes. And such a forest fire take place automatically because of heavy wind or whatever. For bamboo cohesion occur without external cause. Similarly, in the material world, the wrath of those who want to lord it over material nature interacts. So in the everyone, whoever is in the material world, they want to lord it over the material nature. That's why they fight. Okay. And the fire of war take place, exhausting the unwanted population. Such a fires or wars take place, and Lord has nothing to do with them. But because He wants to maintain the creation, He desires the mass of people to follow the right path of self-realization, which enables the living beings to enter into the kingdom. So of course, this material world is created by Lord Krishna so that everyone can rectify their desire and they go back to God. Lord wants the suffering human beings to come back home, back to Him, and cease to suffer the threefold material pains. The whole plan of creation is made in that way, and one who does not come to his senses suffer in the material world. So this material world is meant for rectifying our desire, which is to load it over the material nature. We have to understand we are not the controller, we are not the enjoyer, but we are Jiv Loka, Jiv Bhuta Sanatana. We are the part and parcel of Krishna. That's our duty is to serve the Krishna. But right now our desire is to load it over the material world. That's why we have to rectify this desire and transform the desire to the servant, from exploitative desire to servitude desire. That is very, very important. What happened? The Lord therefore wants his bona fide representative to rule the world. And Lord Krishna descended to establish this sort of regime to kill the unwanted person who have nothing to do with his plan. The battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of the Lord, so that undesirable person could get out of the world and peaceful kingdom under his devotee could be established. The Lord was therefore fully satisfied when King Yudhisthira was on the throne and settling of the dynasty of Kuru in the person of Maharaj Parikshit was saved. He was happy. Yudhisthira Maharaj has been enthroned and Parikshit Maharaj was saved. So then the next verse he says, Samya Bhisma Uktam Atha Chayutta Uktam Pravutta Vikyana Vidutta Vidbrahma Sasasa Damindra Iva Jitasraya Pari Pantam Anujanu Vartitaha. Maharaj Yudhisthira, after being enlightened by what was spoken by Bhismadev, Lord Krishna, infallible and infallible. So another name of Lord Krishna is Achyuta. Achyuta Uktam. So Achyuta word Prabhupada has so nicely explained. Pratham Stapya me Achyuta in the first chapter of the, sorry, which verse? 22nd or 23rd verse of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So Achyuta, he has explained. The word who never fails, because infallible. Okay, so that is the meaning of Achyuta. Okay, so whatever Lord Krishna promised, that will not go in vain. Whatever words Krishna has given, that will not go in vain. So Yudhisthira Maharaj was enlightened by the words of Bhismadev, Lord Krishna, infallible. He engaged himself in the matters of perfect knowledge because of all his misgivings were eradicated. So now he was engaged through the perfect knowledge. And thus he ruled over the earth and seas and was followed by his younger brothers. So, and then he started ruling in the guidance as per the instruction of Bhismadev and Lord Krishna. Kama vavarsa parjanya sarva kama dudamahi sachi susma vrajangava paya sodasvatir muda. During the reign of Maharaj Yudhisthira, The clouds over all the water that people needed. दिन में बारिश नहीं आती थी, रात में ही बारिश आती थी. So daytime people can go out. Okay. And the earth produce all necessities of man in profusion. जितनी जो जरूरत है सारी चीज earth was producing. And due to its fatty milk bag and cheerful attitude, the cow used to moisten the grazing ground with the milk. इतना दूध था कि आजकल तो जमीन में पानी नहीं मिलता, लेकिन उस वक्त जहाँ wherever cows were grazing, that land was wetted by the milk of the cows. Prabhupada has written so nice purport. If you want to read, you can read. Okay. But there is one point that earth is also personality. Just I can give one simple example. The simple example is that, let's say you are working in one company, or let's say you have some relation, you are staying in the family, and you found that someone is exploiting you. When you have been exploited, you may do some work out of duty, but you will not give your 100%. You will not put your heart there. When you are doing and it has not been used properly for the purpose it has been done, then you will not like to do the things with the heart. You will not give perfectly. You will not give 100%. और जो मांगोगे उससे कम ही दोगे. Same way, the earth is also personified. Mother Earth is personality. So when she come to know that whatever she is producing, that has not been utilized for the purpose it has been produced, what is the purpose? We offer it to Lord Krishna. The people are rather than offering it to Krishna, people are just using it for self gratification. Of course, Mother Earth will not like and she will not produce profusely. Very simple to understand. Because Earth is also personified. So she'll stop producing. But when King Yudhisthira was there, everything was followed as per the religion, Varnashram Dharma religion instructed by Lord Krishna and Bhismadev. So Earth was so happy because whatever she was producing, it was utilized for the right cause, keeping Krishna in the center. That's why she was producing abundance of whatever is required by the human being. So Prabhupada has written so nicely in the purport, you can read. Then he says, Nadya Samudra Giraya Sa Vanaspati Viruddha Halantyo Sadaya Sarva Tamam Anmrutu Tasyave. So the rivers, ocean, hills, mountains, forest, creeper and active drugs in every season paid their tax quota to the king in profusion. They were producing right quantity. So that's why that was the people at that time, whatever they required, they used to pluck, take, and remaining they were just living for the king or whatever. Since Maharaj Yudhisthira was under the protection of Ajita, infallible Lord, as above mentioned, the properties of the Lord, namely river, ocean, hill, forest, etc., were all pleased. They used to supply the respective quota of taxes to the king. The secret of success is to take the refuge under the protection of the Supreme Lord, and without his sanction, nothing can be possible. That is the secret. Take a refuge in the Lord. To make economic development by your own endeavors on the strength of the tools and machinery is not all. The sanction of the Supreme Lord must be there. Otherwise, despite all instrumental arrangement, everything will be unsuccessful. Itna economic development ho raha, itna ho raha, but still people are frustrated, anxiety. The ultimate cause of the success is Deva, the Supreme King, Supreme. King like Maharaj Yudhisthira knew perfectly well that king is the agent of Supreme Lord to look after the welfare of the mass of people. Actually, the state belongs to Supreme Lord. The river, ocean, forest, hill, drugs, etc. are not creation of man. They are all creation of the Supreme Lord. and the living being is allowed to make use of the property of the Lord for the service of the Lord. That is what is the, yeah, so everything should be utilized for the Lord. That's what we discussed, right? So today's slogan is that everything is for the people, and therefore the government is for the people and by the people. Okay. But to produce new species of humanity at present moment on the basis of God consciousness, in perfection of human life, the ideology of godly communism, the world has to again follow in the footsteps of king like Maharaj Yudhisthira or Parikshit Maharaj. So if they want again Ram Raja, then they have to follow their footsteps. There is enough of everything by the will of the Lord, and we can make a proper use of things to live comfortably without enmity between man and man, man and animal, man and nature. The control of the world is everything. The control of the Lord is everywhere. If the Lord is pleased, every part of the nature will be pleased. The river will flow profusely to fertilize the land. The ocean will supply sufficient quantities of mineral, pearl, and jewels. The forest will supply sufficient food, drugs, and vegetable. And seasonal changes will effectively help produce fruits and flower in profuse quantity. So nowadays, what happened? Abhi, no, no, now winter has started, but still we are feeling so hot. And in summer, you'll get rain. So all the crops will be spoiled because no seasonal changes are not regular. So that will study when Lord Krishna leave this world, how that one season comes in to the duration of another season, and that creates great disturbance. Artificial way of living depending on the factory and tools can render so-called happiness only to limited number at the cost of millions. Since the energy of the mass of people is engaged in the factory production, the natural products are being hampered, and for this the mass is unhappy. Without being educated properly, the mass of people are following in the footsteps of wasted interest by exploiting the natural reserves. Now people have started exploiting. That is what Krishna says, 7.4, sorry, 7.5. Aparamitastomaniyam prakriti nityame para jivhuto mahabhav yedam dharika jagat. So Krishna is three kind of energy. One is material energy, that is made of bhumi, rappa, nalavayu, tham, mano, buddhi. Second is another jivatma. They are trying to load it over the material energy. Yedam dharika jagat. Okay. So they try to exploit the natural reserve. Therefore, there is acute competition between individual and individual, nation and nation, and there is no control by the trained agent of the Lord. We must look into the defects of modern civilization by comparison here, and should follow in the footsteps of Maharaj Yudhisthira to cleanse man and wipe out the anachronism. Nice example of how to rule. It says, Nadyo vyadaya klesa devabhut atmahetava ajata satrava bhavan jantuna ragdi karhichit. Because of the kings having no enemy, the living beings were not at any time disturbed by the mental agonies, disease, or excessive heat or cold. Please read this purport, huh? They are so nice. So, king has no enemy. Then he says that, Sitva hastina pure masana katipayan hari suhruda cha visokaya swasucha priya kamyaya. Sri Hari, Lord Krishna, decided Hastinapur for a few months, pacify his relatives and please his own sister Subhadra. So Krishna was start to Dwarka, his own kingdom after the battle of Kurukshetra, in which is being enthroned. But to oblige the request of Maharaj Yudhisthira, to show the special mercy to Bhishmadev, Lord Krishna stopped at Hastinapur, the capital of Pandava. And the Lords decided to stay specially to pacify aggrieved king as well as to please Subhadra, sister of Lord Krishna. Subhadra was specially to be pacified because she lost her only son Abhimanyu, was just married. The boy left his wife Uttara, mother of Maharaj Parikshit. Lord is always pleased to satisfy his devotee in any capacity. Only his devotee can play the part of his relative. The Lord is absolute. Lord Krishna says, then he says, Amantra chabhyanu vyata परिस्वज्य अभिवाद्यतम आरुरोह रथम कैश्चित् परिक्ष्वक्तो अभिवादितः. Afterwards, when Lord Krishna asked permission to depart, and the king gave it, the Lord offered his respect to Maharaj Yudhisthira by bowing down at his feet. The king embraced him. After this, Lord being embraced by others, receiving their obeisance, got into his chariot. So Maharaj Yudhisthira was the elder cousin of Krishna, and therefore, while departing from him, Lord bowed down at the king's feet. So this is a see, Krishna is setting an example. The king embraced him as a younger brother, although the king knew perfectly well that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Lord takes pleasure when some of his devotees accept him as a less important in terms of love. No one is greater than or equal to Lord, but he takes pleasure in being treated as a younger than his devotee. These are all transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Impersonalists cannot enter into the supernatural roles played by the devotees of the Lord. And thereafter, Bhima and Arjuna embraced the Lord because they were of the same age. But Nakul and Sahdev bowed down before the Lord because they were younger than him. He says, Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Virat, Tanaya, Tatha, Gandhari, Dhritarashtrasya, Yudhisthira, Gautamo, Yamo, Rukodarasadamyasya, Striyo, Matsya, Sutadaya, Naso, Hire, Vimuyanto, Virha, Sanghan, Gardav, Sadhanavanha. At that time, Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Uttara, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra, Yudhisthira, Krupacharya, Nakul, Sahadev, Bhimsen, Dhaumya, Satyavati, all nearly fainted because it was impossible for them to get the separation from Lord Krishna. So from here we'll discuss tomorrow from Hastinapur. So today we discussed that how King Yudhishthira ruled. Now Krishna is departing from Hastinapur. So we'll discuss that in the next class. So thank you very much.